Hello, this is Chris the Pocket Master, and this is Miranda, my girlfriend, and today we're going to talk about RPG Maker MV. So I'm just going to start off by talking about RPG Maker in general. And RPG Maker, the first version I played of that game, or that software, was RPG Maker for the PlayStation 1. And I believe that was before RPG Maker 2000 because it was made in 1999, I believe. But then I started off from there, not really finishing a game on that system, then moving on to 2000, then finally 2003. And I did purchase RPG Maker MV, but I didn't touch it too much, and that's where Miranda comes in. So Miranda, I'm going to ask you a few questions. What drew you to RPG Maker MV?
Well, I am a writer in my spare time, and I'm currently writing a story, and I wanted to be able to visualize it a little better, so Chris recommended RPG Maker MV, and he got it for me, downloaded it on my computer, and I'm actually, with that, able to map out my plotline and see it play out, and it's a little more interactive than just kind of thinking of it in my head, and it's really fun too, so that's actually how I started making my game.
Alright. So, I mean, lots of people give up making games, including me. I gave up making almost all the games I've made on RPG Maker, including the one on PlayStation and the RPG Maker 2000 version. But what's keeping you going?
Well, I've put in a lot of work into it, and there's a lot of aspects of my map and my game that I'm really, really in love with. And so being able to see and work on those is really fun, and I really enjoy it. I have thought about scrapping my game a few times, just because there's a lot that I messed up on, and sometimes I think it would be easier just to delete the whole thing and then start over. But then I look at my map, the first map that I ever made, and it's so pretty, and I don't want to do all that work again to make it.
Yeah, it looks really amazing. I love your map. I mean, I wish I started with RPG Maker MV rather than RPG Maker 2000 because it's just, or 2003 I mean, because it's just kind of like it's 8-bit, but RPG Maker MV definitely looks a lot better. So how easy is it to use RPG Maker MV?
It's really easy. All of the tiles are already laid out for you and everything. There's a lot of creative freedom with what's already there, and then even if there's something that you don't have that you want, you're able to integrate other pieces of artwork to make tiles so that you can put them in the game. I incorporated, I needed a specific kind of tree because it needed to be big enough to where my characters could like walk into it. So I was able to incorporate that. And also you're able to take the artwork that's already in RPG Maker MV and you're able to modify it in Photoshop if you need to. So I have one of my characters named Rowena, and in my story she has pointed ears because she's an inhuman race. And so I was able to take one of the characters, one of the, what do you call them? The graphics?
NPCs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was able to take one of the graphics, and I was able to put it into Photoshop, give her white hair, change her appearance a little bit, give her pointy ears, and I was, able to change up the colors and everything, and it wasn't that hard actually. It was really easy.
Oh, very cool. Very, very cool. So what is the hardest thing to do in MV?
So this is, I'm very bad at keeping track of my things and being organized about how I make my game. So I'd say the biggest struggle I have is keeping track of like where my doors are supposed to go, and also keeping track of all of my switches. That's not really like about the game that's hard. It's just my lack of organizational skills. Other than that, it was pretty hard to actually figure out like in-game mechanics, making triggers, things like that.
Yeah.
But once Chris went through it with me, it wasn't too hard to understand.
Yeah, I mean, with time and practice, you'll get the hang of it for sure.
Yeah, it definitely takes some getting used to.
What do you like about MV?
My favorite thing is just that there's so much creative freedom. I have a really big imagination, so I'm always thinking of like these crazy ideas about what I want my game to do, and I'm always running to him going, can I make it do this? Can I make it do that? And yeah, you can pretty much do whatever you want in the game, and
Yeah, and she's always asking me, oh, can you do this? Can you do that? I'm like, yes, you can, but rarely. I mean, there is a time where you just can't do something, but you will rarely run into those moments. Mm-hmm. So basically anything except like 3D models or anything like that, I mean, you can't do it because it's 2D.
Yeah, I mean, anything that you can think of that you've seen in an RPG game, like you could do it in RPG Maker, obviously, because, you know, you're making an RPG game.
Yeah. Okay, last question. What do you hate about MV?
Probably that I have so much trouble opening it on my computer. I don't know if it's me, I don't know if it's my computer, I don't know if it's Steam, but I cannot, it won't open sometimes. It'll just freeze, and then sometimes it won't play my game. Sometimes it'll just glitch out and exit out of everything without even saving my progress. It doesn't happen too often, so it doesn't interfere with making my game too much, but it does get annoying.
Yeah, and I tried I tried the Steam Lite process, and it still did not work. So if any of y'all know the issue, leave it in the comments below, because I mean, it's a problem I can't figure out, and it's only on her computer. It doesn't happen on my computer that I have or my GPT Win 2. I can't figure it out. But yeah, if you do know, please leave it in the comments below. Alright, so I hope y'all enjoyed our little take on RPG Maker MV, or Miranda's take on RPG Maker MV. So with that being said, I'm gonna sign off. This is Chris the Pocket Master. This is my girlfriend, Miranda. We're signing off.